Hey everyone, this is Matthew Kent and welcome to my daily vlog. So today I want to talk about something that I was listening to yesterday on a podcast and was kind of interesting to me because it's something I've tried to implement before and failed. But I think it's a really good idea, so I'm going to get back into it. And it's sort of like a productivity hack that I think is really good and really important. And it's the concept of having themed days of the week. So it's a structure that essentially gets rid of the phenomenon of you saying, okay, what should I do now? So you've already decided in advance what the next step forward is, and then each day you just basically, okay, what's today? Monday I do this. And so one of the advantages, like I mentioned, is you don't waste time, debating about what should I do next. You're able to just move forward, which is so important. But the other advantage is it allows you to batch certain activities so that your brain's not bouncing back and forth between different things, and it allows you to be more productive, get more stuff done. So for instance, Monday could be your like administration and planning day, and let's say like you have a blog or a YouTube channel or something, Tuesday could be your creative day or your deep work day or something like that. And so this applies really well to people who are in the creative space. It applies really well to projects that are happening in your life. Like let's say, you want to get on a diet and exercise regimen. You could devote Sunday to meal prep and and shopping. And that way, also you did all that work once. And so, on Tuesday night, it's not like you're saying, oh, I don't know what I have to eat and maybe I'll just go get McDonald's. Things are sort of, your ducks are in a row, as it were. It doesn't work real well necessarily with a regular 9 to 5 job in most cases. In some cases it might, because a lot of times you're going to be expected to respond to your boss's needs, your boss's demands, your customers, your clients' demands, their time schedule. And so it's harder to batch and it's harder to have themed days. But so in addition to being useful, I think, for everybody for things that are going on in terms of projects in your life, or, if you're self-employed or if you're in the creative space, I think it's particularly useful as well for the concept of content creation in a different way. So, the one way that I've mentioned is having theme days in terms of, Monday you do this, Tuesday you do that. But also I think helps to have theme days in terms of how you release content. And so one of the big things, whatever kind of content, even if it's a video like YouTube channel, one of the big things that people run into is writer's block. And just, I don't know what to do next. I don't, know what to, I've got a lot of different ideas, but which direction should I go? And sometimes that can be tough, and the default position is just not to do anything. But if you create, instead of every time coming from the bottom down, if you take a top-down approach to content creation where you put a structure in place that, hey, on Monday this kind of post is coming out, on Tuesday this kind of post, on Wednesday this kind of post, or whatever your posting schedule is, then let's say you put aside Tuesday is the day you're going to create all those things. You're not sitting there on Tuesday going, oh man, I need to come up with 5 ideas working from the bottom up. You say, no, the first idea I need to come up with is based off of Monday's theme, the second idea is based off of Tuesday's theme, and so on. And it's a much easier thing. Creative constraints, ironically, help you be more creative. And so one of my favorite stories along this lines, and I think it comes from the book Steal Like an Artist, which is a fantastic book, is where I learned this one, is that the book, one of the best-selling children's book of all time, which is Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss, actually came out of a creative constraint. He had come up with a cat in a hat, and his publisher was so impressed that he only used something like 100 different words. And so his publisher bet him $50 or something like that. I bet you can't write a book that's as long as the cat in the hat, only using 50 different words. And he did it. And it's, Green Eggs and Ham, one of the most successful children's book of all time. So, one of the things, I'm going to try to get back into this rhythm of having themed days and of batching my processes and doing things like that. So good questions to ask yourself are, how could I employ this strategy, what themes make sense for me, which days should I allocate to which activities, and to become more efficient. And then if you're a content creator, if you're a blogger, a podcaster, a YouTuber, doesn't matter, author, you can ask yourself like, hey, is there a top-down structure that I can apply to the content that I release to help me know sort of each day what to pursue, what to put forward. Very helpful things because at the end of the day, it's better to have an imperfect structure that just keeps you moving forward than to just be wandering around in your own head, stuck, not knowing where to go next. Those are the things I'm thinking about. Really, really, really hope that this was useful for you. And hopefully I'll see you guys again tomorrow.